Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ama if you are new, and in this video I am going to be comparing the original Laura Mercier translucent powder, which is the OG standard setting powder that a lot of brands look up to, I humbly say, to their new shade. This is the Laura Mercier setting powder in the shade Honey. So this is the mini size. They do have one that comes in the standard 1 ounce, I think. Yeah, so the standard 1 ounce, and the mini is 0.33 ounces. So I'm going to be, putting both to work, and then you can see how it looks on my skin. If you are around my shade, you can see if this is going to work for you. If you do not have this one, you may be interested in getting this one. Or if you don't have neither of them, after this video you may or may not be interested in getting either of them. So if you're interested in seeing how the two different shades differ or how similar they are to each other, then please stick around, okay? Okay guys, so I already did my brows off camera, and I'm going to be using one of my favorite foundations already. This is new, but it has already found its way into my favorites. And this is a NARS Soft Matte Foundation. If you have not watched my review, I'm going to leave a card up here on the screen. So make sure that you click that video to see an in-depth review on that foundation. So I'm going to blend that all over my face. Really quick, nice, light layer. And as you can see, it blends out beautifully. And it gives off such a good finish. So to contour, I'm going to be using the Fenty Match Sticks in the shade Caviar. I am going to, put that on my cheekbones, on my nose, on the bridge of my nose, and then a little bit on my forehead. And for concealer, I'm going to be using my Shiseido Synchro Skin Concealer in the shade 501. It's a really nice neutral base concealer. It's just like one shade lighter than my skin tone, so I really like to use that. It helps even out under my eye. In this video, I'm going to be topping it off with the GIORGIO ARMANI Power Fabric Concealer in the shade 11, which is 2 to 3 shades lighter than my complexion. And then I'm gonna blend out my contour first, just to let that concealer sit a little bit. I'm going to blend out the contour first. So I'm going to blend out my concealer using my favorite Sigma F79 Kabuki brush. Again, this is the Sigma F79 Kabuki brush. I do not use beauty blenders anymore actually, because I just find that they just soak up product and you keep having to replace them every now and then. It's $20. And I feel like it's best to invest in brushes that you can use for long term instead of buying a $20 beauty blender every 2 or 3 months, because you do have to change them often. So as you can see, I'm blending out the concealer. Okay guys, so I have my base makeup done. I have my complexion face done. I just did a really simple, foundation, concealer, and a little bit of contour. Nothing too crazy. But now I actually want to dive into these Laura Mercier powders, because that's what you're here for. So if you don't know, or you've been sleeping under a rock, Laura Mercier has one of the best powders, translucent, best setting powders in the market, period. Like, Laura Mercier is the standard. So she first came out with the translucent setting powder, and I'm just gonna shake. Ooh, I'm going to do a little swatch test. If you haven't ever used this powder before, I'm just gonna do that on my hand so you can see. So this is the translucent setting powder that has been in the industry for years and has been pretty much the standard for a lot of brands. A lot of brands have been looking up to this powder, I think. So that's the translucent one again. And then she came out with the medium deep, which is also just the same formulation, just a different color. So I'm also going to swatch that for you. So this is the medium deep Laura Mercier powder. Okay, so these two have been around. They've been here. She recently launched the honey shade, and so I am going to swatch this one. So this is meant for medium skin tones. The translucent was meant for all skin tones. The medium deep was more targeted for deep to dark skin types, and this honey one is marketed more for medium skin tones, I mean. So I'm just going to swatch that one right here. I'm going to spread that out a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more because it's not pulling up. So this is the translucent setting powder, is the medium deep, and then this is the honey shade. This is the new shade. So yeah, I am going to set one under eye with the honey, and then I'm going to set the other with translucent so we can see the difference. Okay, so I'm going to set my left eye with the translucent shade. And I'm using a Smashbox angled powder brush. Just using a little bit, I'm just gonna dust it off. And dust a little bit on my hand. And I'm just gonna set it. So I'm not baking. So if you're looking for like a baking video, this is not it, but I'm just setting my under eye with these powders and we can see the difference. So I'm just gonna lightly press. And since I concealed under my brows too, I'm just gonna use it to dust it a little bit. And I'm gonna use a little bit under my contour. Lightly. Ooh. And on the upper part of my face, right here, and then okay. So this is translucent, and like I said, I am not baking, so I'm going to literally dust the excess off right away. So this is what this side is looking with the translucent setting powder, the original setting powder from Laura Mercier. So I am going to use a different brush to try on the honey, just so that I'm not transferring any color, and this is as unbiased as possible. So this is the honey, guys. So I had used this powder and I was doing my thing only to realize that my camera had stopped recording because my memory card is full. But the devil is a liar. I'm still going to show you guys this powder, so I'm going to put it on again, okay? Okay, so I'm going to do this again. I am going to use the Laura Mercier Honey Translucent Powder on under my right eye. And because I've already put some there and my camera was not recording because my memory card was full, I'm just going to do a little bit, not too much, because I don't want it to look cakey and then not give you a fair impression of this powder. So I'm just going to lightly dust. Going to lightly set my under eye, dust everything off completely, and then I'm going to go back in with my Fenty setting powder. I don't even remember the shade. This is Coffee. This is the Fenty setting powder Coffee. And I'm just swirling a little bit right here. I'm just gonna dust it around my entire face. Okay, so here we have it, and I am going to zoom you guys in so you can see how the powder looks up close. Okay. So this is the translucent setting powder, which is the original one. And this eye is the honey one, which is the new one. I don't know if you guys can tell a difference, but the honey seems to be a little bit brighter. It's actually showing up brighter as opposed to my translucent one. Okay, so now that the powders are all done and we have compared all three, I'm going to be using my Lancome Le Monochromatique. This is kind of like a multi-use product. You can use it for an eyeshadow, you can use this for blush. So as you can see in this video, I'm using that as a blush, and this is in the shade Haute Couture. It does have some shimmer in there, so I decided to just use that and no highlighter for this look. So I just used that, and then I'm using the Too Faced Hangover RX setting spray in the watermelon scent. I'm just using that to bring back my face together because it was looking really powdery. And yeah. Now to finish off the look, I'm using the Pat McGrath Lust Gloss. I don't remember the name, but I'm going to leave it in the description box below. It's a really nice everyday lip gloss. In recap, just looking at these powders side by side, I feel like there's not much of a difference in how it shows up. Even though the honey on camera looked a little more bright as opposed to the translucent side, I feel like they're both pretty similar. So if you do have one, I don't think it's necessary that you buy the new honey shade. But if you haven't tried the translucent one, then maybe you might want to try out the honey, because it's a really, it has the same Laura Mercier standard formula. It really looks nice and seamless under the eye. And then also you can use the medium deep shade to set your entire complexion. So those are my 2 cents about the powders. I think that they are fine, but I don't necessarily think that this is a must-have. So what is your favorite setting powder, and why is that your favorite setting powder? Leave that in the comment section below so we can all learn from each other. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I hope that you consider hitting the subscribe button and also hitting the notification bell so that you get notified every time that I post a video, because I got some good content coming out and you don't want to miss. Yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Stay blessed. Bye.